building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Down out, I was worth it and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became.
I don't play with my spirits like that.
Hell no, damn charade over here. Like they, it's the ignorance. It got to be the ignorance. It got to be the ignorance that
It
just
is.
because you just can't act like you own the spirit world. You can't act like you own it and it's at your fingertips. Because I'm like,
Character and ego. Character and ego will always take you to a place that you probably don't need to be, and you got to check that. I'm blessed. I have friends that will check me if I get too far out of line, and I need that because sometimes I do. Sometimes I like to push the envelope a little bit. And my biggest fear is being seen as ego driven. That is something that I do fear because I see a lot of it in people, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to go out like that. But I will have friends that come to me, and these are friends that they can talk to me any kind of way about anything because I trust them. And when they tell me you need to calm down or you need to correct this or you need to apologize because you offended, then I 100% I listen.
Right.
I have to be accountable for my actions, especially when we are what they call us nowadays influencers.
Right.
We're not just even spiritual people in the community now.
Right.
Now we're influencing people, and
right.
with that comes a big responsibility. And like you said, we see on TikTok where these people are sitting up there, they're not in the tradition, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and here they are with 1 million followers telling these people to do this stuff.
Right.
And nobody is holding them accountable. Nobody is telling them, no, stop doing this.
Right.
They don't have that sounding board, and that's important.
Right. I do believe that when we do have a duty to kind of look at the content we're putting out, the words that we're speaking, we know words are powerful. Everything that we say.
Yes.
So I've been someone who's never used my platform for beef and petty bullshit and arguing and going back and forth with people. I just don't do it. I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just not interested in that. I think when we get to a certain level, even at the beginning, I never was like that. I think people have to kind of take that step back and say, what are you truly bringing to the table? What's the energy? I live from my heart space. My heart space is to help, not to hinder. I'm not here to hinder. So if you're stepping up to help and you're looking at your content, well, how are you truly helping if all of your shit is to harm someone, to bind somebody, to revenge on somebody? You know what I mean?
It's the energy, and you're gonna have people that connect with that energy, and like you say, you have to be balanced though. Even if you're going too far left over, it could really throw you off, and not everybody's loving light, not everybody's supposed to be loving light, but you do have a responsibility for content that you put out there. We see a lot of people in these groups and in social media that put half a working or half a spell. It's not even a complete thing. So you're not giving everybody in TikTok, you can't give people the full recipe of a work in 3 minutes.
Seconds. Yeah, right.
Yeah, where it was first 30 seconds, then it was 60 seconds, and that's not enough.
Right.
That's not enough time. You can mess people up like that, and sometimes that stuff goes back on their families.
Right.
Their animals and other things like that. But when you
lineage coming in.
Yes. It can get really messed up. So you're absolutely right. If your content to me is constantly destructive, it's not my energy. It may agree with somebody else. It don't agree with me. It does not. And I think you have to be honest about yourself, people that you bring into your circle too. True. If their energy doesn't match yours and you're not moving in the same direction, it's like, you know what? It was great traveling with you this far. Now I wish you the best, and you send you with love because we're not going in the same direction anymore.
Right. No beef, no arguments, just we're not aligned anymore. And it's like, okay, much love to you.
Because
Yeah.
you hear these godparents and these people that start working people after the friendship breaks up. And I
Mm,
never understand that. Like, I didn't want to work you before, but now since you're moving
right.
on, now I feel like I need to work you. And I just don't get that energy. I
Oh, I've
don't.
had a lot of that come my way. I've had a lot of people
Really?
at the fallout, all of a sudden, it's like they're doing all this shit, and I'm like, "Why? Why do you feel like I'm not this person over here that people make me to" people make you to be whoever they want you
Oh,
to be.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, it's like, because I know how to do certain things, you think I'm just my time is over here like, "Oh, now I'm gonna spend it on you?" Like,
Yeah.
what? And I remember I have like one really close person who does work in Santri, and he's like my go-to. And I remember in the beginning of my path, I had went to him when like all of this crazy shit was happening. And I had like probably like 10 different people doing shit to me. And it was kind of fucking up my energy, especially my mind, because I'm a pretty powerful
That's what they
my
attack
soul.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my will is pretty powerful. You really can't get me to waver unless I believe it or I choose to believe it, right? And that's
Right.
what he told me. He was just like, don't give it so much power. Don't think about it. He was just like, you don't got to do nothing but stop giving it power. And that hit me a certain way to where I was just like, you're right. Because if I don't think about this shit, what are they doing? What did I have? Maybe some diarrhea, maybe some bad dreams. Like what really
Yeah.
happened?
And even with certain spirits and demons, I mean, if you don't acknowledge some of the stuff, it
Right.
literally does not have the same hit that they want it to have.
Yep.
There's just a differences of the energy. There's a shift that happens. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, you do get a lot of people that for whatever their agenda is, um, you know, they think that they're going to be hit by you because they're scared of you, but there's something powerful that they see in you. Because why
Right.
would you? I'm not attacking somebody for
Right.
the hell of it. I'm just not going to do that. And when people come out and they talk about attacking me and throwing stuff at me, I'm like, damn, I must be a badass individual. I got to put me down and bury me in the graveyard and all this shit. Like, I'm
Right.
over here making brownies in my kitchen, getting ready to look at Law and Order. Like, what the
Right.
fuck is going on with y'all?
Especially people that sat next to you or anything. You're kind of like, did you ever hear me ever say some shit like this? So where is your mind at that
People get scared though. They do. And I think because they
crazy?
see power in you.
Mm,
They
yeah,
see it. Just because you don't use it to harm them doesn't mean
right,
that it's not there.
right,
So
right,
in a way they respecting the power because they're trying to do it in before
right,
you can actually use it. But yeah, no,
right.
no. Your
This
team.
life, I've been way too conscious in this life about how I want to be, especially walking into like rituals and things like that in my energy and being very conscious of what I do in my footprint, being of different things I've seen from past lives and things and knowing that that's not what I wanted in this life, that I really wanted to stay in a place
Mm,
of helping. And that means controlling my ego, checking myself when I get into those moments like, you you want to go there, but it's your less like, nope, this is not even worth it. And this is why I tell people I don't talk to people when I'm irritated or mad. I'm not going to have a conversation with you. I know
yeah,
better. I'm gonna go cool down. I'm gonna go think about it, and then let's come together and have a conversation when we're not all pissed off and emotional
absolutely.
and all of that. I don't believe in that screaming, yelling, fighting. We're gonna call each other names and all this shit, and then what? I don't believe in any of that. I'm like, if we can't have a rational conversation,
I don't
let's
want to
not
have it.
speak right now. You
That's
know,
that's so good that you are acknowledging that and you know that now. What's your sign?
I'm a sun sag.
Ah, which makes
Yeah.
because my daughter's a Sag, and I know, and I'm an air sign. I'm Libra, so I used to have that where because I grew up in a dysfunctional family where that's what we did. We
Oh yeah,
screamed at
me
each other,
too. Whew.
but there was a time when my daughter was like, if you keep doing this, we're not going to have a good relationship. I'm going to
Right,
pull away from you because it wasn't fixing anything. And
right,
then when I started going into ceremony, you're absolutely right. There was a conscious decision
right,
on this does not serve me.
right. My
And
mom's a Libra too. My mom's a Libra, and
oh my God. So I know y'all have had some
we
knockout.
used to, woo,
Woo,
woo.
girl, that
And
fire
my
in your
mom,
hair.
she could say some very hurtful shit.
Woo, we
She could say
can.
some very hurtful shit. Woo, and break you down with those words.
Yes. Air signs can cut people sharp with
Mhm.
words. And
Yep.
we know this. Even if
Yep.
we don't fully have, the full grasp of it, we know it, but
Right.
it doesn't
Right.
make it right. It's
Nope.
not
Nope.
healthy. It's a
Yep.
very dysfunctional energy. And you were right about going into like, how do I want my ceremony? How do I want my ritual to be? How do I want my
Mhm.
relationship to be with people around me? And
Right.
there's no room for that anger.
Right.
There's no
Right.
room. Every now and then, I'll feel like that little ignite, like, oh, and then I'll kind of like, okay, let's take it back some,
Right.
because it doesn't make my spirits happy. So you're absolutely right. But I
Right.
love the way that was so deep, the way you said it, where it was like, even going back from your past lives, you were
Mhm.
very conscious about how you wanted your energy to be in this life. And I think that is amazing. I
Yeah.
really love that.
Well, I spent most of it being afraid of it. I was afraid of it myself. And then when I was getting into my late 30s is when I started to really go down this path and kind of open things up. And I just had this like, I know, I just know I was this. I just know I was an ego. I just know I don't want to be in that place. And even like the arguing and stuff with people, when I got into my 30s, I just started shutting that down. I was like, I can't do the disrespect and arguing back and forth. And there were some people I had 20-year relationships with, but spazzing out, having that argument, you cuss me out, you want to fight me, and then we're supposed to kiss and make up. No,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that's not
We
okay no more. So
we did the same.
I started putting that boundary like, no, we're done. I love you from afar, but we're done. And I just slowly started to become that person that says, if you, and I would tell people, if you feel like you're getting to that point where you want to disrespect me, you want to fight me, there's no love there. You've been waiting on a chance to do this.
Yeah.
You've been waiting on a chance to come at me in this way because I would never come at you in this way. And
Yeah.
so I just started to move that way. And then especially coming into this, the path is just changed me really to sit back and be careful with everything that I do, every word, everything that I say, because what you put out is what you get. I believe that.
Absolutely. And you're on a platform where your words have power. You're
Huge.
affecting people. Hey, babe, come here. I want you to meet my Sagittarius.
Girl, you was so loud. I heard you before you even opened the door.
You heard me
I
talking?
thought you was watching TV. Because I
Uh,
came in and learned you was talking. Oh, you live. Oh, I'm talking shit. You live.
this is my Sagittarius.
Sag.
Hey, y'all. No,
Yeah.
Ariana has a show. She has a goddess show, and she interviewed.
I like that thick goddess energy. That's me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes. But go on. You hungry?
Yeah, you gonna cook?
No, I'm gonna order some food in a little bit.
Hell yeah.
But no, I think honestly, part of your journey and part of what we're supposed to experience is becoming our true selves.
Mhm.
And I think the healing is what starts to take that anger and that pain away, where you don't
Right.
feel that need to,
Right.
when I used to scream at people, it was literally because I wanted to be heard. And I
Mm.
was dealing with people that were coming at me with that same aggression. So I had
Right.
to get bigger
Right.
to go back and forth. I don't have that anymore. I don't
Right.
even surround myself with people like that anymore. So
Nope.
there's no need for me to lose my mind and go all over the place the way. And I'm so
Right.
thankful. My anger used to embarrass me. It used to
Yeah.
embarrass me.
Oh yeah, I was hot tempered when I was younger. Whoo, I was hot tempered and I could say some shit. And then when I was one of those people, you were dead to me. Like it was real. Like you were dead to me. We're done. You're dead to me. And now
Mhm.
it's more of like you're not dead to me, but I just know certain people don't need to be in my life anymore. And I know that forgiveness is about me and not about them. Forgiveness is so I
Absolutely.
don't stay with that anger and hurt and that pain. And so I can move on and live a happy life, but you don't have to be back in my life. And so
Wow.
that's been a huge learning curve to just, I'm like over here trying to be happy. I'm not about that drama and all that craziness.
If
Hell no.
anything, the last 3 years have shown us is life is short. And
Right.
you have a limited amount of time, one, to be happy, one, to make the impact that you're supposed to make for whatever reason that is.
Right.
But I think for the most part, a lot of people right now just want to be happy. They want to be content. They want to be peaceful. We've had such a chaotic time and the energy is not over. some of this stuff is still going until 2025.
Yeah.
And, Lord help me if we have this election and Trump comes back in, and I don't even want to talk about politics on that, but in the South,
Right.
in the South, it's got such a derogatory effect on us here that it's not even whatever platform that this man is running on. It's just the sheer energy that people get when they connect with his energy.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with that as a Black woman in the South. I would prefer not to deal with it, but energy carries a lot of things with it. Dysfunction is there.
It is.
So
huge.
But it's right now the energy I notice in the South is definitely shifting. Where are you at? Where do you live?
I'm in Florida.
So you feel it too.
Hey, Florida is, I don't know. Florida is weird. It just depends on what's going on. And I'm not really out. I spend most of my time inside versus outside, period. But when you go out, you can see it depending on what is happening out there. I feel like Florida is its own country sometimes.
Florida is, though. I think it's good and bad, to be honest. I really do. Because, there's some times where, Florida's like, we don't claim none of y'all.
Right. Florida's over here like, we don't know what y'all talking about.
I have friends down there and they say the same thing. Like, I don't even know what's going on in Texas, but it ain't happening here. But
right. Different, because of course, Florida is more diverse in who's over here. Also versus when you go more over to like the West or Central in Texas, the who's there is going to be a little bit different population, and
absolutely,
especially Texas, we all know gets a little bit more racist. I don't care what no one says. We know the southern states, period. We know that's been a thing for hundreds of years.
It's a red state. It's a red state, and unfortunately, the energy with that is not good. And when you look at it from a spiritual standpoint. It's almost like something is just like pumping, and there's a lot of things that have not been healed. And so we're still carrying that energy, and it is coming to a head. I'm just praying that by that time people will be in position where we can maneuver it a whole lot better. But it just goes to show you how energy, walking this journey and dealing with the energy of the land and also the people.
Oh yeah, because this land is built on blood, and if people don't realize that, then everywhere when you look at, especially like Texas, a place in Texas that's a huge place built on blood. There's a lot of bloodshed in Texas.
They're still finding bodies. They're still finding mass graves. Like they're doing, these big malls and stuff, and they're finding mass graves of Black people that were just dumped. And this is stuff that 2022. That we still haven't, we have yet to even acknowledge. So spiritually, I do feel so many changes in this world. And my whole plan at some point was to leave Texas and move out of the country anyway. That's always been my plan, to retire somewhere. Because
I think you and a lot of us got the same idea going on, because I'm going to tell you from what Spirit is giving me is that this shit has to get a lot worse than it gets better.
I feel the same. I feel
sad, but it just, I feel like not enough people got the message during COVID. Okay. Not enough people got the message to open up and start to really take power back and start to change. More fear than anything kind of came over, right? We know that some people did. A lot of people got more into their health and things like that. COVID did, right? I did really good in COVID. A lot of people were watching me and doing spiritual shit and learning, right? But not enough people shifted. And so, we know the spiritual warfare is going on. We know on that end, and we know it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, unfortunately.
It really is. It really is. And that is coming too from people in Africa. Mm-hmm. You have some voodoo sons in Africa that are, talking about the spirits being angry and the changes and things that are coming in, and the warfare, the spiritual warfare that has been going on for centuries. This is not something new. So I'm just like, okay, let me just get with my spirits. Let me work with my ancestors. Let me keep walking this path, and I'll play my part.
Right.
Whenever they tell me to step up and play my part, that's what I'll do. And other than that, that's all I know at this
Right.
point. That's all I know.
That's
You
all we
did
can do.
You did say that you teach mediumship. So I have a couple of people who have been asking about it because I don't teach mediumship. I'm really still getting comfortable with mine opening up. So let me ask you, how do I just send them to your page if they're interested?
I actually have my website that I don't have any live classes this year because I've taken a break. I was doing too much and I needed a break. But right now I have basically my last class that's recorded. So they can watch and learn from that. And, then I do kind of workshops with the people, but it's a self kind of pace. I'm in transition of all my websites and pages right now. So I am going to put it into a different type of class setting soon. So it just depends on if they want to do that, but I don't have any live classes right now. I may have some, probably not for 2022. I'm kind of over it right now. I need a break.
Go at what you feel 100%. And what I'll do is I'll give them your information, and if they're interested and they want to talk, then they'll move forward with that.
Right,
but no,
right.
Go with your place, because
I have them. They can purchase in my website, which I have my website, and they can purchase the class, and then there's 6 classes to it, and they can watch it and kind of self-pace. If they have questions, I don't mind working with them, and then I set up like a workshop with whoever's available if they want to ask questions. And then, of course, I have a group in Facebook that I would allow them to practice in if they take the class. So they actually can come and practice their skills. Same thing with tarot. I do teach tarot as well. I'm just no live classes right now. I also teach shadow work, but I'm not doing any live classes because, you got to listen to the team, what they say. It's time to go this way and we got to go this way. So
yes, you have to.
I'm being called to learn, physically learn. I don't know who or what just yet, but I'm being called to kind of get out there and learn. So I probably will not have any live classes, maybe until next year. We're still deciding that.
That's good though. Follow the journey. Listen to them because they're going to take you where you need to be, and it's important.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad because, I started my classes in 2020 and I feel bad because a lot of people, they want the live classes. Of course, it's better to have the person right there. And, but again, you're watching a live class. You're watching a live class. So you're getting all of it of what's in there.
You
definitely can send me questions and stuff like that and work with me. But, and then again, I have I still have my Facebook group to where anyone who does any of the classes, they can come and practice in the group.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. Well,
so send them my way.
I enjoyed this. I really did. The energy was so great. The conversation was great. And so I just wish you the best. I really do.
Thank you so much though. I appreciate you just coming on here and chopping it up about some real shit. Shit.
Anytime. I don't.
I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became.